welcome to another stream. How's everybody doing? Let me know in the chat. It's nice to hear from you. I am doing okay. My brain is, yeah, still writing code that writes code. Still generating C# code from XML schema because it's apparently 2005 where I live. And I learned something really interesting today about C#. If you generate a switch statement with like hundreds and hundreds of cases in it, then your C# will compile really slowly. And it's actually better to generate a dictionary and then do a lookup against it, which doesn't affect what we're doing with the root matching, the root tester thing that we're working on here, because we're not going to be generating hundreds and hundreds. The most we're going to be generating is like 36, because it's basically letters and numbers, and so none of these switch statements are going to get particularly big. So that's okay, and that's fine, and we don't have to worry about it. What else has been going on? Stuff. I learned Greek. Well, no. I learned the Greek alphabet. My daughter had a Greek test at school today, ancient Greek, and I wanted to help her revise, and so I had to read out the words in Greek, and then she would say what the English translation was. And it's a completely different alphabet, and so I had to learn the Greek alphabet so that I could read out the words. And that was brilliant, and it made me realise that I haven't actually learned anything like completely new for years. I can't remember the last time I learned something completely new. It's like, I'm learning about source generators and routing and proxying and stuff, building this Cocoon thing, and I'm learning more than I ever wanted to know about XML schema from the day job, but actually something completely new, the Greek alphabet. So yeah, I can now read words out in Greek even though I don't know what they mean, except some of them are obvious, like chronos, which is time, but which is spelt. So in Greek, chronos, the k is actually written as an x. The r looks more like a p. O is O, so that's easy. But then N is actually a V. And S is a circle with a little thing going off it. If it's in a word or at the start of a word, but if there's an S at the end of a word, then it's basically an S, except it's weird. So yeah, anyway, that was exciting. And I might at some point decide I'm going to write something to help with Greek learning, just for the hell of it. So let me shrink myself, because otherwise I get in trouble. I shrink myself down into the corner here. So yeah, we are writing this code generator, and at the moment I'm not worrying about the source generator bit of it. I'm writing the bit that actually generates the code, which is like a separate thing, just to make sure that that's right. And then I suspect that this code is actually going to come out. I'm going to move this. So this is my sort of reference for the code that I am writing. And I'm going to add switch section braces here. I have learned that switch section braces. Good evening, Rambling Geek. How's it going? When you're generating switch code, this editor is JetBrains Rider, which is absolutely my favourite C# editor. It's really nice. Basically, it's a C# IDE with the whole of ReSharper just built in by default. That costs, if you've got ReSharper, if you're paying for a ReSharper license or subscription, then you've basically also got Rider because it's the same subscription. But the reason I like it is that it works on Windows and Mac and Linux. And yeah, no, I swear I have tried to use code to work with C#, but I just miss all that ReSharper stuff. I code a huge amount. I write a huge amount of code just by pressing Alt Enter and doing the thing that I'm supposed to do, and the C# plugin for Visual Studio Code just does not have that yet. So yeah. Right, so this is what we're trying to generate, roughly. This is what's generating it, and here is my my tests for this. And so I'm going to let's go up to here. So I'm going to grab this out. Well, let's take a look at what we've got here. So we've got to this point. So now for each of the items in our list of paths here, we're going to grab the first character out and we're going to generate a switch for that. That's fairly simple. So here's my code generator. If you're not familiar with what we're doing, by the way, if you've joined the stream recently, I'm building a proxy server. So ASP.NET Core 3.1 and ASP.NET 5 Core 5. There's a proxy library that's available for them, and what I'm trying to do is create something where you include a library that includes that proxy, and then you can sit that in front of an old application, and then you can migrate it a page at a time by kind of going, right, so when I'm going to do this route, and when this route matches, I'm going to show this MVC Razor page, or I'm going to show this just Razor page. And it works with Blazor, which was amazing. And it works with Blazor Server and Blazor Client. Yes, exactly, .NET rocks. That's what I was talking about on there. But with Blazor Server, you actually have to know what routes are served by Blazor. So Blazor Client, it just falls through, and if it doesn't find anything on the proxy, then it will fall back to index.html. But with Blazor Server, you actually have to kind of go, what are the routes that are available from Blazor? And then if it's one of those, if it's not one of those, then do the proxy. And if it is one of those, then allow it to fall through. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And it's out there and it's working, and there's a whole kind of dynamic routing thing inside there. But I just wanted to have a muck about and write a source generator to span through the thing. So we've got our route here. And so what is this doing, Mark? I need to stream more often because I have completely forgotten what I was doing on Thursday now. Okay, so if part thing equals due, let's go into here, and I'm going to set a breakpoint here. I'm a wannabe programmer, been messing around since Commodore 64 days. Wow, that is some old school. Never coded for a living. I also stream on Twitch and somehow became a live coder. 44. You were quite young when you got your Commodore 64 then. Yeah, I had a Commodore 64. I did used to know 6502 assembler, because Commodore Commodore Basic wasn't easy, and printing things at locations on the screen involved poking memory anyway, and so I thought, hey, whatever, let's just learn 6502 assembler. But no. So if you thing is, if you've been messing around with programming since the Commodore 64 days and now you're live coding on Twitch, you're not a wannabe programmer, you are a programmer. A programmer is somebody who programs. Okay, unit tests, root test, gen tests. Let's debug this. And then root. Actually, no, let's do this here like this. So roots. Oh, we've only got posts and post/id in there at the moment. Parts is now posts and ID, and then we can go into there, and then part equals parts 0. Oh, we're not actually doing anything with that. Right, that would explain that then. And then we can do _roots dot add part root. Okay, so then let's just debug this again. So let's go into here. So this roots posts. So we can get the P from there. So let's just go public I enumerable string get parts, get values to _roots dot keys, and the generator over here so write the hash set, write the is match, and then So if span, that's doing that bit there. So then we can say var values equals underscore root dot get values dot order by to v dot to array. So that's good. And then we want to get the var first characters equals values dot select v to v0 dot distinct dot to array. And then we can say, hang on, let's take that out of there. We don't have to worry about performance at this point, obviously, because we're generating code, and so it's not particularly performance critical, so I don't have to be optimizing the heck out of all of this stuff. Hey Mark, I'm going to end the stream. Okay, cool. So what, you're going to end my stream? Can you end my stream? Or you're just going to drop off the stream and go and do something else? I don't know. Order by sorry, I don't get it. I'm really sorry, but I am just char dot to lower invariant v0 up there. I just sorry. I'm so sorry. Like my brain is very tired, and cider. Hey, more people turning up. Welcome to the stream. We're generating switch statements for fun and, well, not profit, so just fun. So then for each in first characters. See, it's from past stream of yours. Oh, okay. Code.append line switch span 0. So confusing writing code. Here endeth the last stream. Using code.open brace. Code.append line case C using code.open brace, and then we'll just do code.append line break for now. And then our root generator here should have switch span. I can't type today. Right, so that should be, yep, that's doing that. And then we can say var rests var matches equals values dot I've already downshifted the roots, so I don't need to do that up here. Dot where v2 v0 so find the ones in the list where the section is where it starts with C, and then we're going to do dot distinct up here, because that's what we want. Dot to array. And then here we can basically say if matches.length equals 1, then we can do our check that we've got here. So we're going to have this to next slash function. So we're going to say var code.append line var rest equals to next slash ref span. And then if code.append line if rest.sequence equal gonna stick a dollar on there. Then we can say var rest equals matches 0.substring1, and then that becomes rest. And code using code.openbrace. So that is now going to say var rest equals toNext slash ref span if rest.sequence equal osts, and at the end it's going to return false if it hasn't found anything else in there that does that. So unit tests run. Need the closing bracket on the end of there, and now this should be failing on the break. Yeah. Root test generator, so then this is just going to say return false at this point. Okay. So root is going to have a public root get root string key underscore roots key, like that, and then in here we're going to say var root equals underscore root dot get root matches 0. I'm really struggling with code that's code and code that's in strings. It's not doing me any good at all. Okay, so then we can say if root dot is end, code.append line if span.length equals 0, return true. So that's basically saying if we've matched up to this point and there isn't anything else left in the string, then just return true. So so this should now say if span.length equals 0, return true, and run that. This is just really asserting against code, against massive strings in XUnit is not great. So we expected this, but it didn't do it. Why didn't it do it? F9, debug that. Nope, don't want to break there. Don't want to break there. That should have an isEnd in there. Actually, let's debug that again. Root has got one subroot where the key is star, but it should also span string parts. Oh no, okay, so what I want to do there is say if parts.length is 1, then this is an end. So yeah, this is anything at all. So now let's run my unit test. Okay, so that's good. And then the other thing we want to do here is right. So technically, if root tester here okay, so that's matching for posts and 42 and /edit like that. I'm just going to debug through this again. So root here, and then the next one that has no subroots. That should have a subroot in it. I had that thing in there. So if parts.length is 1, I'm going to switch this back to 0 because I was obviously doing that for a reason and I don't know what the reason was. So let's try and figure out what's going on there. So let's debug this unit test again. So root now has subroots with a key value pair which is an asterisk and a value which is a root which has isEnd true. Okay. Let's set a breakpoint here and then debug again. So parts here is posts an ID, so then we can go to do. And then in here we can go root.add. Oh no, step out. And so now parts is 1. Yep, take that return out. Root tester generator. Okay, can I nest this here? Ba-bum, bum, bum. So root tester over here root tester generator tests. So this should that's matching posts, and then we can say the next one is a wildcard. I'm trying to work out where I can loop this. I think it's here. So private void write switch root and string name, and then this can come down to here, green indented string builder code, and this as well. And then that becomes root.getValues, like that. And then this is going to become, so we want to use the name that we're passing in there, name 0. And then down here we can say sub root and if subroot.isEnd, like that. Okay. And then up here we can just say write switch underscore root span and code, like so. Right, so if matches.length is 1, then we're doing that. And then here so where's our unit tests? Let's do this over here. Index was outside the bounds of the array. If parts.length equals 1, isEnd equals true, and carry on. Let's run this again. So that's still generating the correct code. Unit test driven development. You can refactor things and they don't break. Okay. So then here we can say if subroot.isEnd, do that. Var values subvalues equals subroot dot get values dot to array. And then in here we can say if subvalues dot length 1 if subroot equals subroot dot get root subvalues 0. Let's debug this. So subvalues now should have that asterisk in it, and subroot has an isEnd. So then here we can say if subvalues 0 equals star, asterisk, whatever, if subroot.isEnd then are we at the end? Are we at the end? Root tester. So this basically does that. So if we can say var code.append line to next slash ref span, and then if that is the end, then we can say if span code.append line if span.length equals 0, return true. So in our tests here, we can say to next slash ref span if span dot length 0, return true. And test this. Yep. And that should work for that. But see, if I now add /post/id/edit on there, so we got rest up here. If rest.sequence equal host. Okay, so this so that's jumping that. That's taking the rest off there. So rest is to slash. That's taking off that. Where's my root tester thing here? Something, something, something. Post/new/add. Does this still run? No, it doesn't. Okay. Because that's now matching on there. That's not working. So root tester, let's just set a breakpoint here and then debug this. So span is now ost/new/add. And that's so rest rest.sequence equal, and now span is add. Rest is osts. So this should now have new in it. So then we can say if next.sequence equal new, rest ref span, and then if rest.sequence equal add, return true. So in here we can do this with rest because we've already checked sequence equal up here. So we can say code.append line rest equals to next slash ref span, and down here. So let's say we wanted to kind of nest this like this. Then we could say switch rest 0, switch rest 0. I want to try and get a repeating pattern in here so that this makes a little bit more sense. Case n, rest equals rest dot slice 1 if rest dot sequence equal u, rest equals to next slash ref span, switch rest 0 if span.length equals 0, return true. Case A, rest equals rest.slice1 if rest.sequence equal AD. If span.length equals what? 0, return true. That will match it when it is just new, and then here we can just say if span.length 0, return true. Return false. Return false. Okay, unit tests. Why are you not working? I don't care why you're not working, we're not doing it right now. Okay, let's debug this one. So rest, the thread is not at a oh, I forgot my span, it's span.slice1 there. So now that should work as well. Okay, so here we are doing, so we're doing case O. So switch P, switch O. This is really confusing. var rest equals to next slash ref span. And then we're going to do this against rest 0. Like that. And like that. And then here we can just say rest equals rest.slice1, and then here we can say rest equals rest.slice1. And here we can say rest equals rest.slice1, and then that can just become STS. And then here this can become rest equals rest.slice1, and this can just become opal, like so. Let's run these tests again. Yeah, that's not right, but that should be rest 0. And then here we can say char ch equals rest 0 and rest equals rest.slice1, and then this can become ch, and then we don't need that, and then we don't need that, and then here we can say ch equals rest 0 and rest equals rest.slice1, and then this can become ch. And I can get rid of that. Unit tests run. So people 23 is not passing. Let's collapse that down. Excellent. Right, I think we're making this more repeatable now. So we do that at the top there. And we're going to do switch ch there, so it's always going to be switch ch. Get rid of those. Get rid of that. And then we can do code.append line var rest equals to next slash ref span. And then we can say code.append line var ch equals rest 0. And then here we can do code.append line if rest.length equals 0, return false, because we don't want to be going off the end of our span there. Okay. So then this up here, we're going to have var rest equals to next slash ref span, and var ch equals, nope, we're going to have if rest.length equals 0, return false. And then we're going to have var ch equals rest 0, like so. And that's going to become ch. And that's going to do that. Like that. Unit tests, not you, you. My generator is wrong. I forgot my trailing semicolon inside the string. Forgetting semicolons inside strings is just a general hazard. So root tester generator. We can take that out there. If rest.sequence equal do, you can go as well. So var subroot, we don't need that there. So let's go to here, root tester generator tests, and I'm going to add in /people there as well. And now this is going to fail. So let's just see what it's actually generating at this point. Actual. Oh, stupid boy. Right, so statics, root tester generator, right hash set, statics.orderby, just make sure that's deterministic. So then my root tester generator tests, this should have people in there, like that. And debug actual. Yeah, so now this has done this. So at this point, REST would have either OSTs or EPL in it. Maybe it would be easier to do this at the point where we're building the root rather than where we are busting things up. Let's take a look at root here. Because what we basically want is not that. So if we've got /posts /ID and /people /ID, what we basically want, and let's put in /comments /ID. then what we basically want is P e to OPLE to wildcard to wildcard and C to oments. And potentially going to E to DIT. Okay. So let's jump back to here. Now if I make this into a dictionary of chart root, and then we can have a public string match get private set, and then public root match root get private set. Char key. Right. So now we're adding parts here. So if parts.length equals 1, if part equals match, then we can just say match root dot add parts dot slice 1. So if it does that, it does that. Else Nyang, 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 nyang. So we could have, at this point, we would have people in match root. Now post comes along. Private string underscore match parts. My brain hurts. Why does my brain hurt? No, wait, hang on, because even if we just have this in here, it's just going to be P2 posts, but we're still going to do that first one. So we still want we could just switch it all the way down at this point. Why not? Why not do that? How bad would that be? So if we just switch on the chars all the way down the whole thing, would that be the worst code ever, or would that just be like mental? If parts 0 dot length So if we've got nothing left there, then we're not doing anything at all. Otherwise, we're going to say if parts var part equals parts 0. You all go away, else char ch equals part 0. If underscore roots dot parts 0 equals part dot substring 1, var root equal, oh no, just root equals new root, roots dot add ch comma root, that's a thing, that's a thing, that's a thing, that's a thing. Public bool is start get, and we're going to initialize property from constructor. So char ch equals part 0. Part dot length equals 1. If part dot length is 1, then we want to do that. Else root dot add parts. So that will chop down the stuff there. And that's going to be true. And then we're going to write the switch for this. I think this might simplify things. da, da, da. Var subroot equals root.getRoot C. And then we can say, using co.openbrace, code.appendLine rest equals rest.slice1 code.appendLine ch equals rest 0, and that's going there. And then we can say right switch subroot comma code. Let's see what this actually generates then. Unit tests, debug, actual. Right, let's view it. All right, so from people and posts, so we've got P. Let's change this to C#. So case P, case O, case E, O, P, L, E. And then this is at the end here. Yes. Okay. So then this one here, root tester generator. What we want in here is if code.appendLine if rest.length equals 0, using code.openbrace. If root.isEnd code.append line if span.length equals 0, return true. So let's just check root tester generator. Root is end equals true. Actual root let's just step through this. Right, so we've got parts, posts and ID, parts, hosts and ID, parts is STS and ID, parts is TS and ID, parts is S and ID, so root now is an is start is true, and then this is going to get this like this, and now that's going to match a bunch of everything. Then we're going to say if underscore roots dot try get value asterisk out var root. Let's drag that up there, and we're just going to make that asterisk like that. And then to that we're going to root.add parts.slice1, like so. So parts 0, 0, S, and we'll debug through this again. So now we've got this, oh no, continue. Now we've got this, so F10, no. So parts, index was outside the bounds of the array. Okay, so there we go there. So here we can say if parts.length equals 0, isEnd equals true, and return, and run this again. And delete all the breakpoints, remove all line breakpoints, and go back to the test and grab here, and then nope, stop, and unit tests and debug. An actual case S. So POSTS. Here we should have had so we're going to break here if C equals S. And we're going to debug again. Okay, so subroot now has got a roots where that's T, and then that's got a roots where that is S again. So now subroot should be that last S there. So root root here is end, subroot here is start. If no, root dot add. Break here when CHS. And we are going to debug. And continue. Right. So parts. So if we're on the S here, run, remove all line breakpoints, and we're going to break here when ch equals s and parts.length equals 1. And debug. No, not that. Unit tests, debug. So why is that not? Why is that not happening? Because that's getting caught by the static. So what this was doing here is there's this asterisk. If rest length is 0, so what this should be doing is start rest equals to next slash ref span. If code.append line rest equals to next slash ref span, Yeah. Right. This is doing my brain in, and I'm not sure it's making particularly entertaining streaming, and I'm very tired. And so I'm going to stop for tonight, and I might do some mucking about with this off stream just to make it a little bit more kind of worth watching next time. So, yeah, I will be back on Thursday at 7 o'clock. Join me then, and this will progress. I will actually work out the bloody algorithm and stuff and share it, and then we'll turn it into a source generator and hook it up to the rest of the stuff. But yeah, this is really hurting my brain. So, thank you very much for joining and for sticking with it and hanging around. Um, Enjoy the rest of your evenings, enjoy the next couple of days, and I will see you back here on Thursday evening. Cheers, everyone. Thanks. Bye.